I think I'd be a whole lot less worried about that leaking trioxin, providing the packaging is airtight sealed. Here's a look at the brand new Trick or Treat Studios, The Return of the Living Dead, Tarman with smacking brain, barrel, and trioxin slime. Straight from the Trioxin-soaked nightmare of 1985, Trick or Treat Studios is proud to present the officially licensed Return of the Living Dead Tarman 5-inch action figure. This undead icon is oozing with detail, literally. Tarman comes with black slime, perfect for recreating his unforgettable first appearance emerging from the chemical drum. The figure also includes Trioxin barrel accessory and a deliciously detailed sculpted brain. Standing 5 inches tall and posable, Tarman is a must-have for horror collectors, zombie lovers, and anyone who worships practical effects perfection. You know, you when you get hungry, and certainly a Snickers isn't going to satisfy you. Before, though, we get a closer look at the Return of the Living Dead Tarman 5-inch figure, I'd like to first thank the folks over at Trick or Treat Studios for making this review possible. The figure is available on their site for $24.99. There's big sales going on right now at Trick or Treat Studios also as well. Click the link down below in the video description. In the meantime, though, let's go get things stepping here with the tape measure to see how tall the figure's going to stand. And then we're going to also bring in some other retro-style figures as well. Tarman, if I'm looking at this correctly, and I like to think that I am, the figure's going to be standing at 5¼ inches in height, working out to be a figure that's 13 centimeters tall. Because I know Tarman's not too choosy, here's what the figure looks like along with a pretty woman. Here's also what the figure looks like with Captain Spaulding from the House of a Thousand Corpses line. And here's also what he looks like with Art the Clown. I think scale-wise, he fits in pretty well if you're currently collecting all the fun stuff that comes from Trick or Treat Studios, whether it be from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, whether it be from House of a Thousand Corpses, whether it be even from Terrifier. Terrifying of the figure's following accessories, Tarman does first include a brain, a succulent, juicy brain. What am I talking about here? The brain itself has been colored well here in a lighter pink. There's some nice darker pinks playing in there as well. Speaking of playing, it looks like he actually wants to play with it before he eats it. Actually, if you look at the top of the brain, there's some indentations looking like fingers have gotten to it. In fact, the way they've designed this is quite clever. If you look at this hole right here and you look at the thumb underneath his hand, you can actually plug the hand into the brain. So it looks like he's actually palming it like a football. I don't know if he's Al Bundy 4 touchdowns in one game, but he certainly can touch down rather several individuals, maybe even turning them into the walking undead. The brain itself, you can either have him kind of dangling it behind him, or you can also have him holding it up like he's just holding up a trophy. Hey, look, everybody, look what I got. All right, Tarman wouldn't even say that. The brain is also one thing that can be also included to be displayed inside the Trioxin barrel. Yeah, the barrel itself does have, first of all, a sticker on the top, so it does look like there's a dead inside of that. What's cool, though, is the barrel has weight to it. Not so much the fact that the plastic adds to the weight, but the contents inside do. If you lift up the lid, and inside that Trioxin barrel, you actually get yourself a bag of slime. Now, for this, I've kept the slime still sealed inside of its bag. In a second, though, I will be dumping out the contents inside the barrel. And then you can, from there, you may not be able to fit, I mean, maybe one leg if anything else, but you can also take that said slime and dump it all over the Tarman. Not sure really, though, if I'm going to be doing that, but at the very least, though, let's get this bag opened up and start playing around with slime. I know most would probably say, hey, buddy, if you're opening up Trioxin, you're already asking for trouble. But seeing as we've already opened it anyways, and we've now been exposed by the fumes, right, viewing audience right now is like, what have we been exposed to? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Let's look, though, at the slime inside. The slime is actually a very kind of wet, gelatinous slime. It's more kind of the liquid slime than it is the thicker slime. You can take said slime, dump it inside the barrel, just like this. Cleanup, I think, would be okay, providing you kind of keep either things inside of a bag or you keep it inside the canister. But the slime is very gelatinous, as you can see. Just make sure, though, you don't stain anything around you. I would probably recommend not playing with Trioxin anyways, but if you're going to be playing with Trioxin slime, keep it probably away from anything that's furnished, like furniture, chairs, couches, beds. Probably a bad idea, too. I have still a little bit of slime inside. I don't know if I'm going to be able to strain out all of it. Maybe if I kind of roll it towards the top of the bag. We'll just kind of leave it at least for right now, put it off to the side. You can see, like, some of the stain. We'll kind of just clean up shop here. This slime, I need really myself like a towel, but we'll at least, though, push forward. The inside of the slime, again, is really slimy. It is that kind of perfect slime. If you really wanted to baste this all over, like just a basting brush, you can paint yourself the Tarman. Just dab the paintbrush in there, slap it, slather it all over the character's body. But again, like I would certainly stress this, if you are playing around with the slime, just kind of keep it away from anything that's probably going to be caused damage by. The canister itself, again, we can go ahead. I suppose, if anything, you probably could also put the brain in there too. But let's just put the lid on it for right now. And the lid itself, by the way, doesn't just snap in place. In order to actually fully commit to it, you have to put it on and almost even turn it just to ensure it does survive the blizzard test. This would be one thing, though, you wouldn't want to leak everywhere. We'll kind of put the Trioxin slime right over there. Moving then our focus over to the actual Tarman himself. Again, for this, I'm probably not going to put the slime all over his body, just because, again, I know I'm going to be getting it everywhere. And I feel like, anyways, he's pretty slimy anyways. Look at the head sculpt, though, for the Tarman. I am a big fan of the Tarman. Now, Trick or Treat Studios not only has done, though, a Tarman of this size that we look at in this review, but they've also done the full 12-inch scale Tarman that we've also looked at, well, a fair long time ago, probably about a year or so ago. Maybe it was even further back from that. Great-looking Tarman. I love, really, the look of this Tarman, too. Where that it'd be a little harder to pull it off in fabric, they can so easily pull this off in plastic. I love that he's got these little running streams of slime that's trickled down from the top of his leg, forming sort of these pools down below where the figure's walking. The feet, by the way, though, because of that, does have much larger feet footprints. Because of that, though, the figure doesn't have any issues whatsoever standing. He does have, just in case, though, peg holes in the bottoms of his feet. The figure doesn't come included with a display stand, but again, when it comes to displaying Tarman, even if you have his arms up, no issues whatsoever standing. Detail-wise, though, not only does it start really well with the head, but working our way down, there's a lot of attention to detail that they've taken the time to sculpt in there. Things like bones, things like kneecaps, things that are just protruding outside of his body are all captured here really well. Love the spinal cord on the back of his body. Now, there is technically posability on this guy as well, but even if there wasn't, just as a statue figure, he looks really the part. Again, whether you want to actually dump the slime fully into the container or you want to just kind of keep it inside the bag, I think even if they just had kept the canister sealed and just had it be an accompanying accessory, I think just on its own, out the gate, out of the packaging, he would have been a fine figure. And then you could just, sort of put the brain on top of the canister lid like that. But no, there's actually some posability here at play when it comes to the Tarman. If we look again at his head sculpt, would you believe, though, that there was actually a swivel? There is. You can move the head back and forth. I wouldn't necessarily commit to the full idea of rotating this guy all the way around, but it does stop sort of in one way that you know that you're probably not going to be able to turn it all the way around. Especially, too, it's going to get past the areas of the shoulders, and it's going to tell you on its own, hey, don't move me any further than that. The head doesn't seem to be like it's going to be on a ball joint, so you can't move it up and down, but I think just the swivel alone is more than enough. Speaking, though, of things that swivel, the arms, in fact, do swivel all the way around. There is also technically also a posability here in the top of the torso. Does it feel like a ball joint? It feels more like a swivel joint, but it does move forward and back. So when you really tally everything up, you got a head, you got yourself some shoulders, and you got yourself a torso. I think that's more really than enough. Again, I think it's fun the fact that they actually included a little bag of slime. Just again, like, be careful of the slime because you don't want to make sure that you get the slime anywhere. If you're collecting this for yourself, you're an adult, you don't want to be getting slime on chairs or anything that's going to, you're going to have to go back and clean it up again. I mean, if you're a kid, obviously, if you're looking at, well, first of all, if you love Tarman and Return of the Living Dead, you're the coolest kid around. But yeah, I would say certainly keep the slime inside the Trioxin canister where it belongs, just again, so that you're not going to be infecting everybody around you. The thing I also really like, though, about Tarman is he is just the ideal size. If you're kind of collecting this scale size that Trick or Treat Studios have been knocking out of the park with, whether it be, again, like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, whether it be, again, like the House of a Thousand Corpses, or even Terrifier's Art the Clown, I do, though, like that John blank, that actually Tarman does scale really well. Let's actually just move this out of the way here. I do like that he scales really well, that he is a believable size and a believable scale, that if you are putting these on the shelf, he doesn't necessarily feel like he's way too big or way too small. In fact, he's the perfect size. Again, like this figure is right now over on their site. I think, in fact, actually a double take of looking back on their site, I think the listing for Tarman shows that he's currently sold out, which is a bit of a bummer, especially if you're looking to collect this kind of stuff during the festive season for a gift for somebody else, or maybe a gift even for yourself. But what you can always really do is something I've certainly said in the past, you can put in the notify me when available option. So even if he is available or not available at the time that this review does come out, you can at least put in the notify me available option. So again, like when this guy does get eventually in stock, you can get the notification for that. You can add this guy to your shopping cart, and eventually you can add this guy to your collection shelf. I can see somebody's already forgot to put the lid on the Trioxin canister. What a bad idea. First of all, you're only going to be infecting everybody by the leaking out fumes from the top of it. Is that pumpkin spice? But also, too, let's just say you've already dumped out the contents of the slime inside the canister. Leaving things like this unlit for too long of a period of time is only going to result in that slime drying all out. No, you want to keep that slime as wet as you can for as long as you can. I would definitely certainly say if you're going to be dumping the slime inside the canister, keep it lid at all times. Now, you can choose for yourself whether you want to have the brain sitting inside of it. Well, unfortunately, though, the Tarman can't fit inside the canister. The brain certainly can. Choose to either have the brain inside there, or you can also have him palming the brain. Smart, though, that Trick or Treat Studios actually contoured fingers into the top of the brain, so it fits perfectly against the palm of the Tarman. Not to mention as well, the Tarman does have some points of posability, a totaling of 4, and he's a really well, fun, sculpted figure. Now, unfortunately, though, I did go back and I checked the listing again. The $24.99 for the Return of the Living Dead Tarman 5-inch figure was too good of a deal to pass up on, because he has, at the moment right now, has since sold out. Maybe perhaps they might have the chance to stock this guy again before the seasons wrap up. But right now, the Tarman, though, is currently out of stock. However, though, I did say in this review, and I'll say this again, you can always go with the option of notify me when available. That tells then, first of all, Trick or Treat Studios that you are interested. And if there's enough people that are all doing the same thing, it tells them that they have to get stock back in stock, things in stock right away. But also means, too, that when the moment does happen, that happens to pop back up on their listings, you'll be notified. And then you can get the chance to add this one to your collection cart. Again, a big thank you to the folks over at Trick or Treat Studios that did provide this sample of the Return of the Living Dead. That is pumpkin spice, isn't it? Oh, it smells good. Today we had the chance to look at the Return of the Living Dead 5-inch Tarman with a canister of Trioxin. Oh, I'm getting a little dizzy here. If you guys certainly did enjoy this video, do it a solid and throw it a like. If you guys want to stick around for more, so I hope so. We're going to have some more content coming your way for the rest of this week, so I hope you guys are going to be coming back for that. As always, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.